Do you ever feel like your motivation is just dying? You can't seem to start any tasks, everything feels so much harder than it should, and this nagging thought keeps popping into your head. Something is wrong with me. Well, I'm here to tell you the truth. Your motivation isn't broken. Your brain is just completely overstimulated. Your reward system has been hijacked silently, and it's not just your phone or social media to blame. It's the constant, invisible stream of instant dopamine you're consuming without even realizing it. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how this silent addiction is killing your drive. And more importantly, how you can reverse the entire system using some fascinating insights from neuroscience. So let's get one thing straight. What is the real engine of motivation? It's not inspiration. It's not discipline or willpower. And it's definitely not about being in a good mood. Motivation is a biological loop, a powerful cycle in your brain powered by three things: dopamine, progress, and reward anticipation. Here's how the real cycle works. It starts when your dopamine levels rise. That dopamine surge makes you want to act. It's the spark that gets you going. Then you take action, and by acting, you make progress. Even small steps forward matter. That progress then creates reward signals in your brain, which in turn increases your dopamine levels. And what happens when you have more dopamine? You get more motivation. It's a beautiful, self-perpetuating cycle. When this loop is balanced and healthy, you feel focused. You feel driven, consistent, and disciplined. You feel alive and capable of tackling anything. But when this loop breaks, and it breaks easily, you stop moving. Everything grinds to a halt. Here's the scary part. Modern life breaks this loop every single day, and you don't even feel it happening. The constant flood of cheap, easy dopamine from 1,000 different sources desensitizes your brain. It's like eating candy all day long. When it's time for a real, nutritious meal, the kind of long-term goal that truly matters, your brain just isn't interested anymore. The reward doesn't seem big enough compared to the instant hits it's used to. Think about it. That quick email check, the 5-minute scroll through a news feed, the notification sound from your phone, each one is a tiny artificial dopamine spike. These spikes are easy to get and require almost no effort. But over time, they recalibrate your brain's entire reward system. Your brain starts expecting massive rewards for minimal effort. So, when you face a challenging task like working on a big project, learning a new skill, or even just going to the gym, your brain looks at the effort required and compares it to the delayed, uncertain reward. It thinks, why bother with this hard thing when I can get a quick, guaranteed hit of dopamine right now? And that's when you find yourself procrastinating, feeling unmotivated and stuck. The motivation loop is shattered. But here's the good news, you can fix it. You can reclaim your focus and drive by consciously managing your dopamine. It starts with a process called a dopamine detox. This doesn't mean you have to live like a monk and give up everything you enjoy. It's about resetting your baseline. The first step is to identify and reduce your sources of easy, instant gratification. For a day or even just a few hours, try to eliminate activities like mindless social media scrolling, binge-watching shows, or constantly checking notifications. Instead, replace them with activities that provide a more natural and sustained sense of reward. Go for a walk in nature, read a physical book, have a deep conversation with a friend, or work on a hobby that requires focus and effort. At first, this will feel incredibly difficult. You'll feel bored, restless, and maybe even a little anxious. That's your brain in withdrawal, craving its usual easy hits. But if you push through this initial discomfort, something amazing happens. Your brain's dopamine receptors begin to reset. They become more sensitive again. Suddenly, the small rewards from making progress on meaningful tasks start to feel good again. Completing one small part of your project will give you a genuine sense of accomplishment. The act of learning and improving will become its own reward. You are essentially retraining your brain to find joy in the journey, not just the destination or the instant distractions along the way. By doing this, you're not just fighting procrastination. You're rebuilding that powerful biological loop from the ground up. More dopamine will lead to more action, which leads to more progress, which creates more reward and fuels even more motivation. You'll find that your natural drive returns stronger and more sustainable than ever before. So if you're feeling stuck, remember, your motivation isn't broken. It's just been hijacked. Take back control of your dopamine. Rebuild your brain's natural reward cycle, and watch as your drive to achieve great things comes roaring back to life. Hey, let's talk about that silent addiction that might be ruining your life. And no, I'm not talking about your phone addiction. It's not even a social media addiction. The real culprit? It's an addiction to fast dopamine. Think about it. Instant dopamine trains your brain to crave certain things. Fast rewards, low effort, constant stimulation, novelty, and those quick hits of nonstop micro-pleasure. At the same time, it trains your brain to avoid other things. Studying, working, slow progress, reading, long tasks, and basically anything that feels boring. But here's the thing, you are not lazy. Your brain has simply been conditioned to prefer constant stimulation over actual, meaningful progress. This addiction quietly lowers your dopamine sensitivity, which makes normal, natural tasks feel incredibly dull. It raises your reward threshold, so you need bigger and bigger hits to feel satisfied. It makes any kind of effort feel painful, and most importantly, it destroys your discipline. And then suddenly, you find that answering messages feels heavy, planning feels tiring. Just starting a task feels impossible. Your focus disappears and procrastination becomes your default setting. It's not because you lack motivation. It's because your neurotransmitters are completely overstimulated. And this leads to the most dangerous part, the hijack. So how exactly does dopamine hijack your drive? When you flood your brain with all this instant dopamine, your baseline level of dopamine drops. This means nothing feels rewarding anymore. The effort required for any task feels like it's gone way up, so everything feels harder. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for discipline, weakens. And your entire motivation loop just stalls. You have no drive, no push. You know what you need to do. You might even genuinely want to do it. But your brain whispers, why work hard for a reward when you can get dopamine for free right now? Your motivation isn't gone. It's just being smothered by all this noise. But the good news is, once you remove the noise, your natural drive comes back, and it comes back fast. And this is where the real reset begins. Let's talk about the dopamine reset. It's a simple 3-step protocol that can completely reset your motivation. Step 1 is the dopamine clean window. Set aside 2 hours every single day. During this window, there's no short-form content. No notifications, no fast dopamine hits, no switching between a million tabs, and absolutely no mindless scrolling. This is your time to let your dopamine baseline recover and reset. Step 2 is the 3-minute start rule. The next time you're facing a task you're dreading, just tell your brain, I only need to do this for 3 minutes. That's it. The magic is, the moment you start, your dopamine levels naturally begin to rise. The perceived effort cost drops, and you activate your momentum. This is how you break through that initial activation barrier that feels so impossible to overcome. Step 3 is to replace fast dopamine with deep rewards. This is about making conscious swaps. Instead of scrolling, go for a walk. Instead of watching shorts, pick up a book and read. Instead of chasing quick dopamine hits, celebrate your small, micro wins. Replace constant noise with silence. And swap multitasking for monotasking, focusing on one thing at a time. Deep reward is slower, yes, but it is far more sustainable. This is how you rebuild your motivation loop for the long term. By doing this, you're not just fighting an addiction. You're retraining your brain to find joy in the journey, not just the destination. You taking back control from the algorithm and putting yourself back in the driver's seat of your own life. Give it a try. The drive you've been missing is right there, waiting to be uncovered. Feeling like you're constantly fighting for motivation? What if I told you that in just 7 to 10 days, you could reset everything? Imagine your motivation returning, your drive feeling natural, and discipline becoming so much easier. That feeling of effort when you start a task? It gets lighter. You'll find yourself starting things automatically without that inner struggle. Most people think it's about forcing discipline, but that's not it. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a dopamine imbalance. The good news is that balance can be rebuilt. It's about repairing your brain's chemistry, not just trying harder. And once you fix that, the real magic happens. But be careful, there's another habit that destroys your clarity even faster than dopamine. In my next video, I'm going to reveal the hidden triggers that are killing your focus every single day. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching.